a good long friend of mine. We went to school together. He's known in the community, the music community, number one drummer. Very good youth, healing out of Mova. We know Mova is in the spotlight right now, but good things. At the end of the day, there's a balance between good and, as we will say, the Western world, evil, you know. So I have Ifa Poriri here. So we're just gonna play some songs, get familiar, get in that mood, get in that groove, as we are opening the doorway. We are asking Ishu to open the doorway for us, for goodness, for righteousness, for prosperity, and for us to absorb and understand Orisha for what it is, and for not what people has to say that it is a cult. It is the wrong thing, or I should say the word that is obia, that is wrong. But you know, this program, the vibes, as I should say, because I am from the Orisha community myself. Okay, my Ori spoke to me and said, this is the time, do it, you have free time, do it, find the time, you know, and what other and best station to do this here than right here on Street 919 FM. As you know, my DJ selector Jerry is here as usual. So we're going to be doing this Orisha the way of life. Once there is no political broadcast, I will be bringing this to you every Monday. I'll switch up the host, but I hope that Ifa Poriri will be here with me as often as he can. You know, as often as he can. So we're going to take in the music, and I'm going to bring on Ifa Poriri to start tonight's session. Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. We also know that emancipation is just around the corner. We're going to edify the people, give them a better understanding and a way for Orisha life.
bukenke. Ago elegba bukenke. Ago la roye bukenke. Ago elegba bukenke. Ago la roye bukenke. Ago elegba bukenke. Ago la roye.
So for those of you who didn't hear the introduction for tonight's program, I've just decided to switch it up on a Monday as we're getting closer to Emancipation Day, where we are about of edifying the nation and the people of Trinidad and Tobago, the wider world, to Orisha, the way of life. And in my presence of Ifa Pore, as you can see on Facebook, dressed in blue, my good old long friend from school days is here, as we are both part of the Orisha community of Trinidad and Tobago. So we are here to edify, educate, and give understanding about Orisha, the way of life. So without no further ado, we ask Eshu to open the pathway for us, open the doorway for us, as we are about to enter. So those of you on Radio Land, those of you streaming on the Wild World Web, Facebook, sit back, relax. You'll understand. Sure, by 9 o'clock, you'll have a better understanding. So I'm going to go with this program once there's no political broadcast. On a Monday, I'm going to go with this each and every Monday. So Ifa Pore, mic is yours.
My brother. Well, I'd like to say good evening to all the loyal listeners of the street 91.9 FM. Good evening, and thanks to my friend, long friend Dillard, Mr. Duke for having me here. If I tell all you how we get out my house, Lord, but we didn't go there yet, but I'm very happy to be here. I will share as much as I can with the little knowledge that I have, We always try to remain humble, but I am very passionate about my Ifa Orisha tradition, the way of life. It's not just Orisha. Orisha is part of it. But in Trinidad and Tobago, we mostly identify with the Orisha aspect of it, because that's what most of us know, So, yeah, I'm here to answer any questions and say whatever I can.
So, to you listeners, I'll be taking phone calls at 7:25. That's in the next 8 minutes. I know you guys eager, you guys willing to speak to Ifa Pore, right? I am also, as I said, I'm also a member of the Orisha community. My Orisha name is Alatumishe Oribamishe Aganju. That's my name, right? I am a child of Obatala. Obatala, the pure white one. So, Ifa Pore educate them, start by telling them what Orisha is about, from the knowledge that you have. As I can see the Facebook pages, Ogantula, Bosola, Alafia, peace and blessings, The messages coming in, I know this is something our ancestors toil and paved the way for us. And I believe my warriors guide me and let me know this is the time. We have been in the shadows or the backdrop for so too long, and we need to come out. There's no, as I should say, there's no black or black people, Negro people or no separation, no. Negroes, Indians, Hispanics, this religion, as we should say, is all races. It's no segregation, it's no separation. So I'll leave the mic up to Ifa Pore. That's my guess. So I'll go at him.
Come at me. Take it slide.
Yeah.
I must say Iba Olodomare. I must acknowledge the supreme creator of the universe. Oloro, the owner of the heavens, Olofi. Iba Ashe Bogborisha. Iba Ashe Bogbo Egungun. I must say Iba to my Oluwo. That would be Baba Asiwaju. I must say Iba to my Baba Ifa. That is Araba Ifa Kolade Atinumu. Iba to all of our Oris, Iba to all the listeners, Iba to everyone, all the positive energies. Yes, I must acknowledge. So let me start by saying, as I said earlier, it is called Ifa. Ifa is the tradition of the Yoruba people, our ancestors who would have come through some not so good circumstances, right? It is a very natural way of life. It is oral tradition. It is not written. It is not manipulated in any way. You can't manipulate how a tree grows, and in a sense that you understand that it is nature, and it is the first. It is the beginning, and understanding this way of praise now, you know for sure it is not quote unquote perverted in any manner. You know, I don't want to go too in depth on Ifa teachings itself. I'll try to make it as light and as relatable as possible. Understanding that it is understanding nature from the way our ancestors used to, because they knew God without anybody teaching them who God is. You understand? We are very, very, very spiritual beings, understanding what melanin is and all these kind of things. But Ifa, as I said, is a way of life. We go to a source of information, because when each human being is born, we are born with a destiny. And with this destiny, as we leave the spiritual realm, or what you would call in the European way heaven, and you descend down to earth, you would experience a lot of memory loss when you choose your destiny. So upon the earth now, we do certain rituals. One is Esintaye, where as a baby, when you are born, your parents would go to Ifa, or the spirit of destiny, or the Orisha of destiny, which is Orumela, and ask to remind them what you are here to do. So you would do those rituals, and the parents would be guided what direction to raise the child. You know, everybody wants their child to be a tennis player or a firefighter, and all these nice programmable teachings and thinkings from the system. Some just have to be a gardener, and all his or her blessings will come from being that gardener. His or her happiness will come from being that gardener. Olodumare will be very, very delighted knowing that what you were sent to do is what you did, because heaven,
so
quote unquote.
Just cutting, because for those who listening, they might say Olodumare. And who is Olodumare?
Or what is Olodumare?
And what is Olodumare?
Right. Olodumare is, in the Yoruba language, we never knew anything called God until we were, what's the word for it? I don't want to say, I'm trying to be enslaved, right? And the Yorubas understood things from titles rather than names. We would call it names now. So Olodumare, the owner and creator of the universe, is one of the translations for Olodumare. So saying that Olodumare, in the European way, we refer Olodumare to God, the owner and creator of the universe, right? So when I say Olodumare, I understand that it is the supreme being of the universe, right? So once we would fulfill our destinies, or are on the path to our destinies, there is nothing that can be considered more pleasing or more achieving. You know, not saying that you not supposed to aspire as a human being, but you're not supposed to be sidetracked. If you get sent in the shop for a loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter, and you come back with a car, 2 Jeep, and a boat, what you gonna tell God? I cannot get distracted. This was sweet down here, so no. You didn't achieve, you didn't carry out your role and function. You did not go and get the message in the shop, because heaven is our home, Orun is our home, earth is just a marketplace. So a lot of people spend time focusing on the sweet things of life now, but It's really distractions. And understanding that now, you would understand the concept of Ifa and why certain things are very important in the tradition and the way of life. It kind of allows you to not get jealous, not get distracted, not get... Because you will see somebody with a big house, 2, 3 big houses, and that's how we just think. I had to do that too. But it's not that way. That's not the way of the Ifa Orisha practitioners at all. Yeah, it's all about focus and achieving your destiny.
Okay. Nice. Hello, good night. You're listening to the Street 919 FM.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
What is that greeting for Orisha? If I now call you, what should I say? Or is there a greeting in Orisha that I could say?
A simple greeting as Alafia.
Alafia?
Yeah, Alafia.
Alafia.
Yeah.
Yes, brother. What's my heart beating fast? I don't want to take too long.
Mm-hmm.
I like your description. I like how you begin. You start off real good. I hope it catches on. I hope people don't misunderstand what they say. But I wanted to say something with you before I go. In terms of, sometimes we dwell with miracles. We use the miraculous power of spirit, and we don't know that. One of the simple things is talking or delivering what you're delivering a sentence or speaking, making a sentence. Think about it, right? What you came to speak about resonated as an emotion. You didn't have it in paragraphs in your head. You didn't write it on paper or anything. But somehow you take this, how to put it, invisible potential energy, and you was able to translate it into words. Mm-hmm. Without stopping and making paragraphs in your head, if you understand what I'm saying. So you transmutate your emotions into words, and that was received by a human being and retransmutated into the same feeling that you had. So it's something I discovered over the Corona time when I went into a little meditation. And you bring me out how you start this program. I don't want to dominate your program.
No problem. You go ahead.
But you have me, you make me bring it out. That was one of my secret discoveries. Make a sentence. If you just make a sentence, you'll realize that it's coming from an invisible, colorless, raceless, formless energy, and you're immediately transmutating it into words. That is use of the spirit there. If you understand, it's a very powerful thing that we do without observing it. And that's an environment. Where it's coming from, that is an environment that we can't see now. You understand? So we use the Spirit of God to perform a miracle, because emotions have huge amounts of data in it. And you don't necessarily have to write it down. And that is a kind of miracle of spirit that we just use, but we're not aware of it. Brothers, I tune in this program now start, or I miss out on anything?
Well, there's the first... This is the first edition of the program. Once there's no political broadcast, I, MC Duke, will be taking initiative to continue Orisha, the way of life, myself and Ifa Porere. As long as there are no political broadcasts, we'll be doing this program for people to be edified and understand Orisha. Every Monday, once there's no political broadcast.
And I don't want to miss it, because I like how you start. Have a good night.
Blessings to you, my brother. Blessings.
Good friend.
on the street.
The official station that defends the nation.
Hello, good night. You're listening to the Street 919 FM.
Allah, yeah.
Alafia ni.
I am very glad that this program is here as a young Orisa youth. What I would like is for people to understand something. Well, I don't know if you just give me 2 minutes to just say what I want to say.
No, you could go ahead.
If we have to go to Porterstein from Arima, let's say, you could either pass on the main road or pass on the highway. Orisa practice in Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension, IFA practice in Trinidad and Tobago has taken 2 paths. I don't know if you're with me.
Yeah, I following you, man.
Right. One is through the Christianity path, and one is through the IFA path. Now, there's something called Iwapile, which means good and noble
character.
So I respect all paths to all of them are. So, in the time of slavery, when we were enslaved and we didn't understand or they took away our religion from us, and they had us practicing Christianity. Many people want to know well, why we call Orisha saying Saint Philomena and those things. But they would have to understand that our immediate ancestors, not the ones from before, the immediate ones who were here, would have had to hide the names of our Orisha devotees under those statues in the Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm.
And while the priest or the slave master would think that he's praying to Saint Philomena or Saint Anthony, we really devoted ourselves to Ogun or Oshun or those things. So
Right.
during slave practice now, as I was telling some friends actually Saturday gone, when we had to practice our prayers, our forms of worship, we'd have to wait till the slave master up asleep.
Right.
So we in the bush and we singing all the Catholic practices, the Hail Marys and all those things until they feel that we drop asleep, and then we would go into our practice. So IFA comes along now that we have knowledge. So we don't have to go back to that part of going through that aspect of sign all of the marriage. But I do not vex the people who use that part as well.
Right.
I embrace both parts and I understand and respect both parts. So, I'd like for the program, I just happened to turn on tonight and I was so happy to hear it.
Ashe.
So,
Aren't we all?
we would be able to explain to people that they, different parts of the research tradition, of where it came from, of how the boat sailed, those kinds of things. That will help people to understand that what you're doing is not voodoo
Ashe.
voodoo is that type of worship.
You see that way you say they call her? You see that way? That is the reason, that is the main reason. I myself, MC Duke, as I say, I am a member of the Orisha community. And one of the main reasons in the Orisha community, you see your Ori is the first Orisha.
Yeah.
As I was taught. And once you listen to your Ori, everything will be okay. And my Ori said to me, we need to come out. We need to let people understand, because if you come from good teachings, Orisha and Ifa, when you say Iwapile, to be righteous and to be perfect, Orisha don't ever discriminate no other religion. But other religions will look at us and say, them doing bad, them doing obia, them doing wickedness. And even by my Babalawo, he would say, Allah to Mishe, Duke, respect each and every religion. Not so if I put it.
Yes, that is correct. My Baba would have said that Olodumare would have blessed all religions on the earth. It's sometimes when we get so carried away that we start to venerate the man and not the way of life of the religion. You understand? And that's where things start to get complicated. There are a lot of gray areas in spirituality and religious practices that people, when you say one thing, they hear another. And when they say one thing, you hear another, because there are gray areas, because a lot of people don't get to the source of the problem in order to get to the solution. You understand? They still...
Let me do hold up the line and allow other people.
Caller. Thank you for that.
As I say, once there's no political broadcast, this program, with the blessings of owners at the station, this program will keep going to edify and educate the masses of Orisha, the way of life. Right? So remember to always keep it locked.
Okay, have a good night.
So you can call me up on 3420081. That's 3420081. 7711791. Orisha, the way of life with MC Duke and Ifa Porere. Selector Jerry is also inside the building. Hello, good night, caller. Alafia.
Good Alafia. Listen, African people have to go and learn our history. It's the only time we will free ourselves and know the truth. Because stories they took our story and make a story for themselves. And feed us with it. And have us, you understand, worshipping something that doesn't even exist. You understand? Because they know we are people, spiritual people by nature. We are spiritual. But the only how we could free ourselves and know the truth, you understand, is by learning our history. Our story are told, you know, but we have to get into it because we have great teachers out there who have done the study, you understand, of African history and African spirituality, you understand, and they have it out there, but just that we are not getting it to learn it, because what I'm going to say, we know the high truth of a black man, put it in a book, you understand? It's in the book, everything is outside in the book. I do not look at whether you're Shanti, you're Zulu. I look at nothing.
Right.
You are an African, and that is how I see you. And I see my brother, and I see my sister. We used to have kings and queens, prince and princesses, gods and goddesses.
Yes.
That is our story. And this is what our people are. Unless we don't do that, we're going to be in a lot of mess, because everybody has our story excepting us. All those who don't want this black movement matter to go on. They know our story. They know the truth. You understand? And we have to get into that. You understand?
Yes.
Unless we don't do that, we are in trouble. So I'm glad to hear you all. You understand? The drums. You know, I remember one time they had a drumming festival down at the town hall some years ago.
Okay.
And when the rhythm of the drum started to my body just moved just so.
Automatically, right?
The vibration is drums. Our ancestors, we have to respect our ancestors and look for their guidance. Okay, have a good evening and listen to the program.
I do. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So callers, you can call me up on 3420081. That's 3420081. Or you can call me on the WhatsApp number 7711791. That's 7711791. Tonight we're doing something with a sort of a difference, where we are educating the masses about Orisha, the way of life. With yours truly, MC Duke, Ifa Perere, and our making selector Jeremy, and Orisha DJ. He's just selecting. The Ashe is so great. The blessings from Olodo Mari. As Eshu has opened the doorway for us, he's selecting the right songs to evaporate. Yes, so let's get back to where we was. Evaporate a little more information as we go back to the point that we stopped on.
Well, those two callers would have sort of charged me up a bit, you know.
That's it.
One thing the caller the previous caller said, not even before, he said, kings and queens, goddesses, and our story, and people don't understand how powerful subliminal messages are to the psyche and to the mind of a human being. If every time you hear they took slaves from Africa, how would that register with you? They never took slaves from Africa. They took kings and queens,
Right.
They took people that was part of a functioning society, We were not animals. We didn't need to be tamed and all these kind of things. You understand? And so a lot of people, unconsciously, they think that what happened to us. I'm telling you, there are some people even said, thank God it happened to us. Slavery happened to us. That's what they're saying. Well, it's a good thing these people came along, otherwise we would have been very barbaric, and they don't understand that we had a lot of order and whatever it is before. Ifa, let me go back to Ifa Orisha. Let me talk about the Obia.
Yes.
Yeah, the Obia.
Yeah.
The thing that is not of God.
Yeah.
And it's the demon. And
That's right.
it's not right.
But if they are aware or they understand the amount of people high in society that are involved in Ifa tradition.
You see, because one of the greatest mechanisms that was embedded into us, just slightly, is self-destruction. Self-destruction is one of the main things that has us where we are today. People don't understand that it's years of planning and manipulating. It doesn't just happen like people sat and they would have strategized, understood how the human brain would work, understand that if you take the biggest, strongest male from the family and humiliate him, rape him in front of his sons and his daughters and his wife, kill the other big ones, all of a sudden they don't want to have.
I'll stick up in it. I will take this call.
All right, okay.
Hello, good night, caller. You're listening to the
Yeah, good night. I had to come back in here. I had to come back. Our ancestors were looted. They talk about looting in America the other day. Our ancestors were looted out of Africa, and their livers were looted also. You understand? When they're talking about history and talk about the Bible, they're talking about just the other day,
Yeah.
We go back thousands of years,
Yeah.
But what it did to us during the slave period, they beat, understand, their religion into our ancestors. Imagine when you run away and they catch you, and they bring you before, and they bring all the slaves, and they put two horses and tie you,
Yes.
and beat those two horses together
Rip
and
you apart.
bust you apart. That is what the fear they put into our ancestors. So once I put that fear into you, I know when I am gone, you're going to pass that on to your generations, And they just go to pass on to their generations, and the generations know. Some people are enlightening themselves by learning the history, but that is exactly what it is they did. So today, when people are moving out, they're moving because they're not taking the time out to get into the history. Our history didn't start at slavery. Slavery was just here and there. You understand?
Yep.
Our history look. I now see in Nigeria, they are looking to auction all these stolen things that the thief from Nigeria in 1960 something there. You understand? Looking to auction it. There are more. You see more of Africa in Rome and in Europe than you see in Africa.
Because that's where
They
the power
steal
is.
everything they meet on the thief.
Caller, just to say something, I believe the only piece of history or religion that they didn't tamper with, who was able to hide from them is Islam, alongside with Orisha.
What do you mean they wasn't able to tamper with it? I don't understand.
Because within everything that will remain, it's still with them. You know, I remember as a little boy growing up, you hear what Orisha and Shango and all those religions they stay. Because we are powerful people, you know. It's 500 years. You understand? They try to destroy us, and we survived all of that, you know. And this is why our people have to go into their history, learn history, know that kings and queens. When they were in Europe, they were eating one another in the ice because when they get cold and you can't get nothing to eat, you have to eat one another. And they say we used to eat people. How do you tell me I live in the south? The south of mango, orange, all kind of fruits. I attempt to eat one another. Who would likely to eat one another? Not those who can't get food in the ice, in the cold, and you get it, but they make us believe and they put us in our head that if it wasn't for them, you understand, we'd have lived in caves and they know our history. The other day went and Ethiopia is calling them to bring back the stilts that Italy stole from them. I think it came back about 2 or something. So they rape up every
Pardon me.
Okay,
It
brother.
is a bunch of lies. 99% of the things that we are taught, and I know people brain right now might be like, what? How come? Are a bunch of lies. I look today at what was this guy named? Armstrong, who walked on the moon.
Yeah.
And when you look at it today, how much of a years after, because of technology, you realize it was a staged recording.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying? You need to understand that there's history and then there's his story.
His story, yes.
You understand what I'm saying? And it is all manipulated to have the masses in a certain order.
Because, in history, there's nothing, if you want to learn African history, you have to learn world history. There's nothing in history that does not have the African, you understand, presence and creation and thing. Nothing in history. We give the world everything, every living thing, and they know that. You know, so that's why they want to keep us where we are. But we, as I say, we have to learn our history to free yourself. You know, before, maybe this last point, you know, long ago you go to a picnic and all this sort of thing, and so when you're having a picnic, you're happy to go to school, have a picnic, and everybody, you know, picnic, when I did a picnic in America, picnic was lynching. Mm-hmm. They have a service on a Sunday, and when they finish the service, they just want, they say they sell tickets and okay, see the way when I live, because we lynch some niggas. Huh?
Feeding black people was part of a show as well?
Yes, and they just want to bring out the sell tickets. They have big show lynching today, and they lynch us. We have to learn these things. That is why you see what taking place today. They can't stop it because it's our ancestors, the spirit of our ancestors as a weakness.
So I have to disagree with you on that topic. Where they can't stop us. I'm gonna tell you why. You see that Black Lives Matter, and I know a lot of people may not understand what I'm about to say, but I have to say it. If Black lives doesn't matter to black people first, it is not going to matter to anyone else. And I'm not speaking about black people living together, kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya, you know. I'm speaking about, as you said, understanding themselves, where they would have come from, understanding their purpose on the face of this earth. It has to go back. You ever played this game long time when we was going to school? It had a mirror. We used to say, you want to see something real scary? And you hide in the mirror. When the person say, yeah, and you just chuck the mirror in the face, of course you go jump. When black people hear black culture, spirituality is the same thing that is doing, you know. There's this jolt because they're not prepared for it. In reality, if they take the time and they sit down and they watch what is really being shown to them, they be like, wait now.
Brother, they say when you go into a room, I've seen it. They say they go into a room. There are 6 to 8 miles of African artifacts inside of it. 6 to 8 miles. The Pope, he just pay homage to ISIS and Horus. So he just do it. You understand? So it's just that we have to learn our history to free ourselves. And let me tell you, this is the last point for go. Those youths today, 39 years ago, the brother had run the Olympic, the 2 brothers, and make the black power. You understand?
Right.
You understand? That is 39 years ago. You understand? After he did that, they threw him out of the thing. He had to watch candidacy for his family. So you see, so those today, the generation now, who wasn't even born, you understand? Before that happened, they have to take it's like a really, they have to take that battle and carry that battle, and it must free us. Because you see reparation, it's bound to come.
It's
But
funny.
you can't take you can't take for labor and everything and not pay them for it. It's bound to come.
It's-
How about, as I
Thank
will
you, Colin.
say, in Ethiopian language, you understand? Dina Yidaru, good night.
Good night. You know, Duke, what is important, he just said it there again, you know, we cannot win the fight against them. We cannot say as African people or people of origins, right, that we are trying to defeat their system. They created their system and we live in their system. Not the system, their system. Because there are other systems existing. If black people do not reclaim their system, we are always going to be in this loop
Shit.
for years and years and years. That's the reality. So black lives have to matter to black people more than just parading in the streets because they're buying the material to make the thing from the same system.
True.
Right? Everything that they have on, even myself right now, it's still part of the system.
Correct.
And that is where they will continue. Because we not touching the system, you know. We just talking to one or two people and then they go fire one because it's part of the monopoly and it's part of the show. Yeah, look, we got rid of this guy. Yeah. And then we go right back down where in certain places in America, you cannot catch you in water. It's against the law. Yeah. So you need to understand that it's not now, it's just manifestations of the same system from however long, and this is just this version of it. So while people are saying, if I was in slavery, I would have watched now and I bite off my son's nose. I would have do so to his private areas, and we in the same system today. It's just a different manifestation. The doggy dog will, as long as I can get a bigger TV screen than my black brother, I have achieved. As long as I have the latest Jordans, I have achieved. As long as I get in a better car, or I have a car my brother walking, I have achieved. What we achieve? A car?
Mental slavery.
But
As I said in a song, I heard it, digital slavery, you know.
Wow.
Digital
I never hear that one.
slavery. There's a song, I go remember the name of it, and I keep hearing it over and over. And today, just before I come on the station, I heard it. I say, this thing ringing in my ears right to digital slavery. And really and truly, we are in digital slavery.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Full 100.
Yeah.
Full 100.
Yeah, man.
So as we make our ways now, 7:55 in a beautiful tonight in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. You're listening to MC Duke and Ifa Porere with our program Orisha the Way of Life. It's going to be here every Monday once there's no political broadcast. I'm going to bring this show to you till Emancipation Day. You know, we got to keep, once we get the blessings and we get the forward to host it, I'm going to host it to educate the masses. I'm on next call on the line, if I it.
Okay, let's go.
Hello, good night again.
Alafia, blessings.
Yeah, man.
Alafia, right. Alafia. Here this, I really enjoyed the program. You remember saying that, you know, we joined from a energy that colorless and stuff like that.
Caller, take down your, wherever you're listening to the stream or from, just take it down a little bit.
All right, again, am I good, you know?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, this program kind of riled me up too now, so that why I call back again, because I get opportunity.
Understood.
Yeah, that what we joined from to speak, right? I want to say something for the animals here now. That same energy, right? That same, and it all pervading, all right? It pervades everything. When I really check it, if in my meditation, I know only have knowledge that will resonate on the same degree. God can't communicate with not God. So everything that is created is God.
Right.
If you understand
Agreed. Totally agreed.
God. If he try to communicate with, if it had something like not God, it would just disintegrate. If you understand what
I understand it from that aspect of well.
Right. So everything is God. So that energy, you know, all pervading throughout everything is our consciousness now, and it is available to everything because
Right.
You know, God love don't diminish. And it don't grow and shrink it. His love is equal throughout all eternity and infinity. So that same energy we use to speak, which I speak in here now from my emotions. This is not paragraphs are right here, right? These are emotion are converted into a conversation.
Right.
It's the same energy you get the whistle of a bird or the
Right.
bark of a dog. That is
Beautiful.
their way of interpreting that invisible,
Beautiful.
all pervading force that exists within everybody and everything that is created. When you really check it out, we used to live one with nature. That's
Yeah.
because we had an understanding of nature on that level. If you understand what I'm saying, we would understand that they too have their understanding of God. They may not have appendages to build a factory to make a gun, or they may not have, but they connect and understand God in a different way that we do. So I stopped eating meat and things because of this reason, if you understand. And I think it's one of the ways that the darkness has get to prevail in terms of, I think it's an invisible law, because I think in Egyptian times, it was a crime to kill a butterfly. Because out of that same energy, you get the flight of a butterfly, or the sting of a bee, or the bite of a shark. If you understand,
Right,
everybody,
right.
all living things bring this energy into manifestation, and then we spiritualize also. So we have to understand that life pervades all things. And we're not supposed to be living like demons just consume life to survive.
Right.
Whereas we have life inside of us. And, we don't need to live like demons in terms of killing other things so that we could live then, if you understand. And that's one of the understanding.
Okay, cool. Let me ask you this then.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is the difference between an animal and an orange in terms of a living thing?
In terms of the orange it has different aspects of manifestation, and it has vegetation, it has animalistic.
But in terms of it being a living thing,
yeah, it is a living thing because.
so you have to sacrifice life in order for life to continue.
But an orange have an end, so it will.
Everything does. Everything does. And
Right.
everything has its
And
purpose.
it will go back to the process to the earth now.
That
so
same
I guess
orange-
within that produce food.
that same
really
orange-
committing, but
That same orange color could never grow back.
I
It
know
is
wouldn't grow
part
back,
of
but
the
it will
source, and a orange will grow back, not that same orange. You see, everything has its purpose. Everything
Exactly,
has its
but-
place. You see, what we, and I'm not saying anything to any vegetarians or to you, whatever the case may be, but everything has a spiritual and a physical purpose.
Yes,
So
correct.
we was
And-
talking about the obia. So let me see if I could give a little something where the animal sacrifice would come in, or the obia, as people would say. Most people in this universe eat something that was alive.
Right.
You have to eat something that has life. Whether it be an orange, when you ever see a pick a mango and a little juice run out from the top,
Yeah.
that is the mango
A
blood.
mango or-
No, you would call it another name, but that is the mango blood. When you
Yeah.
cut the orange, you're sucking the blood of the orange.
Right.
You may not be blood, but you're sucking the life force of whatever it is for you to be sustained and to grow. It is a law of nature. It is a law of the universe. Nothing happens without something happening. Nothing happens without sacrifice. So let me go to the Muslim act of halal now. They pray over the meat to show the animal respect and thing, make sure that it is blessed and it is clean and whatever the case may be, before they would, what you would call it, kill or sacrifice? I don't know which word you would call it. But let me
They will
say,
kill-
right, okay. Now that is a way that they respect the animal for its purpose and would allow it to fulfill its purpose on the earth, because the animal grow, the animal die, the animal dead, it just eat grass. You know what I'm saying? When you go
Yeah.
to actually what they call quote unquote obia, which in Ifa is called ebo, or that's one aspect of it, it comes along with prayer of purpose. It is not, I'm gonna do a man of wickedness, I'm gonna kill. I don't know them kind of things. That's not Ifa. It is not Orisha. It is probably another spiritual practice. It is not, and I say it loud on national radio, it is not Ifa, it is not Orisha. So understanding that the universe have certain formats that we have to follow. When that animal is preyed upon, not P-R-E-Y, but P-R-A-Y, when we pray before sacrificing the animal, the spirit of the animal now would now take that prayer. He's now the carrier of that prayer and will ascend to carry the prayer to the heavenly realm. That is how African people do it. Now, a lot of people may be like, what's that? Why would you do that? But most of the people who say that would eat meat that was not respected.
I understand what you're saying. However,
Mm-hmm.
I think to some degree, I think I have a understanding where, remember many laws, I don't know if it is written in the Orisha faith, one of them is thou shalt not kill.
Uh-huh.
You understand? Now, what I was saying about the orange is that it doesn't have really, it has consciousness, yes. It has life in it, yes. But it doesn't have an intellect. Or, if you understand, the orange
I
itself is
totally
the end.
disagree.
Eventually it will fall off the tree. Let me explain. It will fall off the tree. And what I was saying, before it becomes a seed, what we consume will deteriorate into the ground, right? Will go into the ground, be life, be whatever, minerals or atoms or molecules that is transmuted into when it in its deteriorated stage, right? And it goes back to the earth. So I'm saying, I don't think intercepting that process in the vegetative state would be, as you know, bad as killing something with a higher form of consciousness than it.
So, caller, you see, this is where I understand exactly, and I was taught that as well. But even the very said water from these streams, mama, has life. And you see that thing we call water is the most important thing on the face of this earth. And it has life. If you do not consume it, you are going to die.
Yeah.
Everything has a level of consciousness. We cannot, or shouldn't say we cannot, we do not, due to the dormant state we were put in, are not able to communicate with it. But we should be able to, if we really meditate on a high level and change our frequency.
Right, that is what I was coming to, because I had to remember, animals could, all right, how to play it, boy, a ground lizard could probably tell you where not to put a road. If you understand, if they would be aware of soil type and stuff like that. So to a bird could probably, if it could communicate with it, could tell you about the winds and the different directions of the winds and stuff like that. And also other animals who in connection with, because remember, the earth is powered by force. Within the consciousness of
yourself, as some would say, yes.
You have consciousness. Earth itself has a consciousness, and there are things still of the earth, about the earth, and stuff like that. And nature can give us some of that awareness if we were able to receive and transmit also. And that's what I'm saying. That level that we are speaking here from, where we taking a wordless energy and a wordless form and transmutating it into words, and you receiving it and transmitting back into what I'm trying to tell you, which is all a different form. That spirit itself, within animals and everything, bees, ants, everything, there is a level of communication, and I think that's how Jesus, prophets would communicate also, because if you have command of that level, that formless, energyless level where we using a simple thing to even movement and all. When you're moving and your motion is just a formless energy you're transmutating into what you want to do, but there's nothing words. You're not saying I'm going to pick a big cup, you automatically just pick a big cup before you make that part. So
it becomes known. It is called manifest. That is the real meaning of manifestation. To be known.
Of manifestation also. So what I'm saying, if our consciousness was reverberating on this invisible level where the commands coming from, which is what spirituality is all about, raising a vibration. Maybe when we speak, we could use the imaginative force and transmit, and that imaginative thought. I'm talking about the higher prophets and them here, and the speakers. That imaginative thought could be translated into French, into English, into Spanish, because the emotions of it has no prejudice.
I totally agree.
As an energy, if you understand what I'm saying, and this energy pervades throughout all things, and the less things we could go out and consume for whatever reason it is. All the reasons that we doing these things exist within us also. If and the powers of what we bringing out exist within us also. It's a real long conversation. I could go on whole night. But
realize
I
that.
To say something for the animals. I wanted to say something, and I think too, when we consume stuff in such a manner, I think we put ourselves in line. Remember Bob Marley sing about it. He have two songs where he said the Babylon system is a vampire eating up the flesh, and then he had the next one. It had one more with eating up all. The one where he said we don't know how we and them are going to work it out now.
Me and
You know,
me and them I go
all
work it
the flesh
out.
from our earth. We that one eating up all the flesh from. I think that puts us in a higher zone. I don't think the food chain will stop at us if we consume other beings, and that's where this evil system exists. Is on this frequency that the evil system getting to carry out the diabolic plans now, because we live on a certain law of consuming life, so that put us in line to be exploited as such. So I think that's one of the pathways of spirituality that that's
You are
my
very correct.
thinking.
You are very correct, caller. This is why in Ifa, we get to understand from Urumela and through Dafa, or what you call reading from the oracle, as to what is taboo for one may not be taboo for the other.
I understand what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah.
sometimes someone's taboo may be alcohol, and then for another person they have to consume alcohol.
But it still will head back in God's direction no matter what.
Exactly.
It's just we
Yes,
misinterpret it. All right,
exactly.
brother. All right, brother.
Exactly.
All right, brother.
Yeah. Thank you,
Have a
man.
good night.
Thank you.
Thanks for allowing me.
Yeah, man. Woman. Yeah, man.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. So it's a different vibes, different type of vibration on a Monday right here on the Street 919 FM. It's the program where we share the way of life with MC Duke and Ifa Porere. My DJ selector Jerry is here. So once there's no political broadcast on a Monday, I'm going to bring it to you where you'll be edified, educated, where you can have some wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. By the time that it's 5 minutes to 9, you can understand and appreciate Risha, Ifa, the way of life. Have a call on the line. Alafia, caller.
Hello.
Alafia.
Hey, a good night to my brother.
Good night.
Yes, man. Let me see. I will tell you something with Africa. Africa, religion is what people and themselves live by, in a sense that spiritually, in this Western world, will it bring us? They give us a church. But in Africa, the spiritual life was upliftment. You understand? In from realm to realm, to know the universe, to know everything about life. But in this life, in this life, we're living here now, they give us a church. And you understand? And just a church. Only name, dates, and events, the teaching in church, nothing spiritual. It's just for the money. That is what's going on. So we can't elevate ourselves. You understand? In other words, you see the spiritual principle, we don't have that. No. When the flesh sins, the spirit is doing things. The spirit of your spirit, you yourself does get vexed because flesh is matter. You understand? So when that sins, your spirit gets vexed. But no, if you just have to live good, when you're right thing and you're purifying yourself, you start to raise to the spirit and you start to live a spiritual life. No, your spirit who should control your mind to control the flesh. And they say when two agree, it is done. But we don't reject it like all we know about And Jesus healed. And Jesus, like, you know, like pagan king. We knows nothing about God, you know. People only talking about the no God, the no God. If they only know God, they're passing nobody straight on the street. The beggar that love them. Every time they see the beggar, that make sure that beggar have something, that vagrant have something, that vagrant move from there. That is God. You want to find God? Find God there. God is calling you right there. Help. That is God.
Yes,
You understand?
God.
We
Yes,
know nothing about that. In the ancient days, we should help one another. We should help one another. We should help one another find a purpose in life and all. To tell us you cannot help, we used to help each other. Look, we used to be our brother's keeper. We don't have like yes, violence. Okay, it's what they're promoting. You know why? Because it keeps us away from our true self. It's not manifesting within ourselves then. We true self is our spirit, our real, that is you, is not manifesting in you. It's just there, being dormant. So we are bankrupt spiritually. You understand? And the black man, I will tell you something. It's what the melanin that could travel from realm to realm. You understand? We teach everybody everything. You understand? But then, if it's a religion, it's anti-religion. If it's a civilization, we live in an anti-civilization. Everything is anti. You know why? Because they harmonize it in their way. You understand? So that we, freedom and we liberation and all these things will be in a cage. You understand? And we have to design us to be like them. So we have to fit in society and do what they say, like these clones, because they take away our freedom at the expense of security, in a sense that they say they will secure us and this and that. No, my friend. It was our freedom. We will secure ourselves, because to secure yourself is to make sure you reach back to the Almighty Father. You understand? And that's what they take away from me. Church is what is a change of policy. My friend, the black people will start to change. You know why? The church is keeping them dormant. This religion thing is dormant, my friend. Know about nature and the Almighty Father. What's my knowledge? Hello?
Caller, yes,
knowledge don't come from up, knowledge don't come from down. Knowledge is in your heart. Knowledge is within oneself. Yes, get knowledge from. You will read, and you know you will get exercise your mind and things. But the true knowledge, when you start to read and things, that comes from within. And I tell a pastor the other night, I say, you know what all you have to get? Oh gosh, you know, I have so much things to say.
Yeah, I know what is that.
He say here, Jesus. I say all you have to get scientific knowledge. If a pastor don't have scientific knowledge, he can never be a pastor. You know what he tell me? I don't have scientific knowledge. I go tell my Jesus. Jesus waiting on him.
So caller, we giving everybody
thank you,
at least 5 minutes. Thanks. We like you to keep it at least a little short, 3 minutes for the most, so we can entertain other callers. So I'm just going to give you some information on the lineup for Iowa Stage this week. Iowa Stage, the series of virtual concerts, is on again. Check it out this week's lineup. Thursday the 2nd of July is Pan Night with Johan Chukari. Friday the 3rd of July, Calypso Night. 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., 1 hour of Lord Kitchener music, followed by Sugar Hollows. Saturday the 4th of July, Snakey and Trisha Hamilton. And on Sunday the 5th of July, Comedy Cook-Up. Iowa Stage will be streaming live from Instagram at Iowa George on the Street 919 FM. Facebook, Neil Iowa George on the Street 919 FM. YouTube, Iowa TV and the Street Online Trinidad. This concert is free, but if you wish to make a donation to our guests, you are free to do so on fundmet.com. Don't forget to tune in and be a part of these dynamic series of concerts. Iowa Stage, one-on-one with the artists, supported by Tuco taking care of business through our music, Panchin Bago and U Store, Lady Hills Avenue, San Fernando. So it's back to our program right now, our first edition of Orisha, The Way of Life, with yours truly, MC Duke and Ifa Perere. And I'm going to say this, once there's no political broadcast on a Monday, because you know we're in that season right now, this program is going to be aired. I'm going to have other members of the Orisha community passing through, but Mr. Poriri will be here with me once he is not obligated to anything else, so we can keep that connection. So those of you out there on Radio Land, you can call me up on 342-0081. That's 342-0081. And 466-5391. 466-5391. Let's get interactive. Throw your questions at Mr. Ifa Poriri. Let's get this thing going. It's now 8:19. Make our way up to 9. We'll hand it over to the Black Agenda, Mr. David Mohammed. He's up next. So the Monday is filled with edifying stuff. Don't you dare touch that dial. Keep it locked. Daniel John on the Facebook page says, there will always be a distortion when we cannot separate religion from tradition. Ifa Orisha is a tradition. Those that establish a temple are extending the religious aspect of the tradition. Ifa is the unadulterated words of God. So I'd like you to give me break it down for those who don't understand exactly what is being said here.
Okay, so we have to understand, when I spoke about the Neil Armstrong situation, it was manipulated, it was strategic, understood for a purpose, even though it identifies with something great, one small step for man, great step for mankind. With the churches, the European doctrines, is something very different from tradition. Tradition came from spirituality. So the Yoruba people, their life was governed by the laws of Ifa. Not they were a set of people and then they made up Ifa. It didn't happen like that. Ifa existed before man existed. And man adopted Ifa as his way of life. If you really go back to the motherland, you would see that there are a lot of things, even it is not prominent there. It is not something that is a problem. A lot of practices in Europe and a lot of things we just allow to slide because you know what? He's a human being and she's a human being. They're supposed, just allow them to live, just allow them to do whatever. In the Yoruba practice is not like that. Your family and the way you live is very important. You can't just individualize yourself and separate yourself from your lineage and your family. So you just can't go and do things and say, well, I am me and this is me. You have to represent both spiritually and physically your lineage and your family. You understand? That is tradition. In the religious aspect now, religion bottles you. into your understanding of what the universe really is. And it also sometimes distracts you from really achieving and going where you're supposed to go for what you were born to do. I have not seen much religions that actually focus on guiding you to where you are supposed to go, as opposed to guiding a collective to go one place. You understand what I'm saying?
True.
And that's where the respect really comes from in Ifa. If Dylan is supposed to be a DJ, and his father or mother are lawyers, and they would like him to be a lawyer, which one you'd focus on more? The will of Olodumare or the will of my mother and my father? And in Ifa, your mother and your father would never dare try to stop you or interrupt you from trying to achieve your destiny, because that is why you are their parents. There's a lot of things totally contrary to what we've been taught in the European teaching aspect, as opposed to what man really used to do and how we really used to live in harmony. Could never live in harmony in the system.
So we know that Olodumare is the supreme being,
right?
Where we will look at someone who is of another religion and they will ask us if that's our God.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say to him as a young, if Orisha initiate, I will say that yes, that is the most supreme being, that's the most high,
right.
Olodumare. And then Orunmila. Educate me on someone, Orunmila. Orunmila, yeah.
Orunmila is the witness to the creation.
How could we balance this with the Western world teachings?
Synchronize it?
Yeah, okay, because why does try to tell anybody, yes, we all serve a supreme being. You may serve Allah, you may serve Buddha, I am Olodumare, you may serve God, Jesus, whosoever. By the end of the day, we serve a supreme being, just different practices.
Right. Language, as the guy would have said earlier.
So, Orunmila is
the witness to creation, yes. So is it now? This may confuse people. Listen to how this might confuse people. Even Olodumare would go to Orunmila for advice. You understand? Sheo, yeah, Ayuka curtain. That is Yemoja. Yes. Yemoja priestess of Trinidad and Tobago.
People logging in.
Yeah. So even Olodumare would go to Orunmila sometime for advice. Because even in some teachings we created. Let us create. Yeah, I don't want to. Let us create. So this concept of God being this one separate thing, you understand? Olodumare comprises of everything that exists. But most important, we have to understand that the universe is meant to be a benevolent one and not a malevolent one. So not because things exist means you should indulge in it. You understand what I'm saying? There are a lot of energies out there, but they're not for us to indulge in. So Orunmila now is that Orisha, Irumale, that carries all the knowledge of the universe. And when we have to get knowledge and guidance, anything that needs knowledge and guidance goes to Orunmila. Now there's the spiritual aspect and there's the man who walked the earth. Sounds very familiar? Sounds very familiar?
Saints?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, we have to understand that, and I know some people may feel a little offended by this, even though they're very similar and they're synchronized, they're not the same. They're not the same at all because of the why it was created or the why it is teach and all these kind of things. I tell people, if you could find good in another practice, right? But that same practice can't find good in another practice. What are you really telling me? Even though it looks the same, even though you may have a twin and they may be identical, they're very different. Because one may think very, very different to the other, even though they look the same. And I always try to tell people that it's not the same. It's either you're doing it or you're not doing it. It's either you can't do something looking like it and say, well, it's the same. No, it's not the same. It's not the same at all. Because doing it the way it was meant to be done, which a lot of people created systems, yada, 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 to make sure we don't do it that way, yet still created something that looks like it, so we stay in a dormant place. I want us to understand why this is. They take it and say, hey, look, they tranquilize Dylan and they say, look, Dylan, say, go for it. But everybody know Dylan is the man, but we're not really doing what Dylan wants, you know. Dylan just there as the picture of it or the concept of it, but it's not really Dylan. You understand what I'm saying?
True.
So it's a lot deeper than that, you know. People don't understand. Not following following other practices, religions, is a bigger statement to African tradition, you know, which we are not following. I say it again. It is good to know that you understand this, but do you understand that when you follow this, you're actually making a statement of not following this? Because this one, what you follow, condemns this one. So that can't work for me.
No.
And it don't work for us.
No.
It has never worked for us.
From my stepping into a parley and my teachings that I have learned that Ifa show you to respect each man's religion. But then on the flip side, I don't want people might get offended at what I want to say. But when you go to other houses, I will use that word.
Right.
Houses and homes, they're not good.
Yeah.
Don't go there. They're wicked. They're doing the wrong thing.
Now you could understand what it means for watch our black sisters, boy. They don't ever look like themselves, you know. They don't look like themselves, you know. They look like a and I want them to understand this. They look like a European version of themselves.
Correct.
You hear what I'm saying?
Correct.
A lot of people just big up Madam C.J. Walker. Not me. That is the woman who make millions off of the thing called straightener. Not me. You understand what I'm saying? And she created the straightener product so we could be accepted in society. All of that was part of the system. Yes, I said it. Ifa Porere, Egbe me ade tunje Sean Singh said it. I'm not condoning that. Because it was part of the reason why black women have to do certain things. The total money that's be spent for weave, brother. No, you laughing. You have any idea? It's one of the highest selling things in the world right now, no?
My wife is a Rasta.
Oh, thank God for that. Thank God, Ludo Mary. Mine's too.
Ashe.
Thank God for that. But we need to understand the same way it have this European version of themselves, a lot of us are following European spiritualities.
Go ahead. I'm going to cut you now. Right now on the Facebook Live on the Street 919 FM Facebook page, where we are streaming live, Daniel John, comments are coming in. He's saying it is like saying Jesus is the mediator between man and God. But if you remove the J and the last S is the issue of the original concept of the mediator. I
taking that, Daniel.
We go reach to that. But we China, we going in stages. We just breaking the ice. We going down slowly. We letting people understand what Orisha and the way of life is. Urumila. And we going down as Ifa Porere say, Urumila is the witness. So Olodomare, from where you say, doesn't work. Even as a young initiate, this what you doing here. I am being edified.
Are young as well, eh?
I am
still an awo.
No, you are your 10 years. You are your 10
die
years.
Nothing. No, brother.
I ain't too long start. I am a child of Obotala, so I know start. And this dialect and this communication between us, I am also gaining knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Right? And Owen Mele, as I say, is the witness of Te Olodomare. And we going down.
Some people say the mouthpiece as well. You understand? And I could see the similarity with what the person said with the,
I was
Jesus.
say we now going down to issue now. So
Okay.
we go touchdown now and edify them because it's now 8:34. So we will leave you all on a certain level. So when we touch base again next week with the blessings of Olodumare, and we are here, we will go a little more deeper. Next week I might have Baba Oka and other people willing to come on. Kenny Atta from Oshun Temple in a Matarita Rima.
Right.
Baba Michelle might come through.
Yes,
you know, so
yes, there's a lot of...
trust me.
Yeah.
Our Tunde is the man, you know. If I Lashe Ogboni, you know, it Adelon, it the Obotala King in Woodbrook, you know.
Yes, but you see that guy there?
Yeah, it Olodari down in
Yes,
PT Valley. You know, we're trying to bring it, we're trying to love it up, we're trying to bring it. And, you know, Emancipation Day is right around the corner. The ancestors fought for us, so let me try. So we reach issue now, so I'd like you to educate the masses of issue.
Well, first to begin, let me say it loud and proud, issue is not the devil. And if we don't have no devil. It don't have no place where we just go and burn forever and ever and ever. We need to understand, you know, just tell me off a little bit, our ancestors don't just die and become dormant and lay there until a judgment day. No, that's all those things are lies. They are lies because they were told to you so you would not venerate your ancestors, so they would not help you, even though they still do. I just always say, you know, due to what they taught us, if at a certain age, we thought Santa Claus used to give you things, you know.
Well,
You know,
I'm going back to when we went Belmont Junior Sec, and I'm going to call it Sean.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine.
But watch me. You see that dogo day? You see that T-Fed? You see that
Dylan,
Western philosophy?
I sit down watching the moon to see the man pass at Christmas Eve. You know, long as I've jumped to sleep, what kind of thing? Big me.
Chris Kringle.
Oh God. Listen, it's real lies. And I could understand how it's difficult for some people to remove from the only thing that they know as truth. I could understand that. But if you could even see an inkling of untruth in it, wake up yourself. If you have to convince yourself that it's the truth, wake up yourself.
Now these children of today, you can't thief their heads with that Santa Claus thing.
I forgot that.
These computer age children, them not into that.
Right, they understand. But what about the fact that they are computer age children?
That's a next.
You see, it's all about manipulation.
Digital slavery.
I keep telling you, it's just different manifestations of the same cause. It is never going to change.
People feel issue is the devil, you know?
No. Issue is the divine messenger of the universe. There are a lot of different
aspects.
We call them aspects. There are a lot of different ways issue would manifest. But there's a way, I want to explain one of the ways issue operates and the function of issue that people need to understand. Issue is also the enforcer of justice. Issue is also the one that when you are to elevate, or you are to receive, or you petition through the Emor, right? Issue is the one that, okay, you want a man, you need to get a husband, he will present 3 for you, or 4 or 5. You understand? To see if you really want what you ask for, or if you're just asking for something because you just want something.
But he's also the trickster, as we know.
Well, that's what they call him, but his purpose, Issue's purpose, is to present these things for you, and it's either you pass and elevate, or you I never say fail, or you don't pass and you get stronger in the situation. You understand what I'm saying? That is Issue's purpose. Issue is like the universal police. Don't feel you could go and do something wicked, and because they do thing, whatever, owner of 21 roads,
Michelle LeBlanc Smith, she says, the owner of 21 roads, Ayoka Curtin, Yoruba proverb, if one does not know which sport, one is sailing, no wind.
No wind is favorable. Yes, she's trying to say if you don't understand where you come from, you don't know where you're going. You understand what I'm saying? So, issue is there to make sure that you understand that you get on that path one way or the other, either the easy way or the hard way. That's why long time in feasts, the spiritual Baptists used to put Eshu outside. After they give him something, they used to put him outside. Some put him quite down by somebody else's house.
They're afraid.
Because they don't understand. You have to understand, knowledge is a serious thing, my brother. If you don't understand, you're going to act accordingly. There are a lot of things that we were taught that we would have invested in growing up, and then come to realize,
But when I came in to tell the tradition, I questioned that because I say, Eshu being the one to open the doorway,
right,
for you, why would you put him down quite out the road?
Because of the synchronicity. It was still attached. You understand what I'm saying? When people say don't let Eshu get you, don't let Eshu get you, it just simply means do the right thing, and otherwise you're going to get punished. And I'm not saying that. Now Eshu is the one that is in charge of all the Ajugun. Ajugun is a whole next different thing. That's the forces of the universe that are not so good.
Correct.
You know, when you don't listen, you're talking about sickness, loss.
Kali is saying to you, if is that an idol?
Eshu?
Yeah.
No, Eshu's an Orisha. Orisha, select head. One of the manifestations or emanations of the Creator itself. You know, you could look at it that way. The aspect that deals with sin. Every single Orisha has a function in the universe. It is harmony. The wind, the sun. I talk about things before man could write a book existed. But they have a consciousness and they have a leader in Olodumare.
This person here, Rose Petal Nicholas, I am from Tobago. I remember talking to a lady on a mall. I didn't know. We Africa people, hairs
grow upwards yes,
towards the sun. And our hair look as trees. It was nice. She thought Lara Yada, I became awakened, though I had questions from a child, how I got in the Caribbean. Who is Christ's image?
Oh God, let me don't go there.
Yes.
Let me don't go there yet. Yeah.
Hospital,
Yeah, let me don't go there because that's a whole next conversation. You know,
the night of Ifa Pilumi?
Yeah. There's a lot there's a lot we can speak on today, but what I want people to first understand that there are a lot of lies. There are a lot of lies that we were taught. First, before you accept anything else as your truth, understand that you are living with a lot of lies. You need to shed that. Don't just jump from one to the next. Shed that first. Understand the essence of the lie and the purpose of the lie. So that way when you're moving on, you would be able to identify it in any form or fashion. That same lie. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
You would be able to identify it. You see, Ori, as you mentioned, coming from the name word Orisha, it is very important to understand self. It is very, very important to understand self and understand destiny and understand how to listen to that voice within. Long time a spiritual mother used to say, you know, that voice used to say, Sean, don't go around that corner. It has something there. But what is that? What they call it, the man on the left and the man on the right, you know, your conscience? It is more than that. It is more than that. And Ori is the only Orisha that experiences the journey with you from beginning to end. Ori will never abandon you. You abandon Ori by not listening or adhering to the instructions of your Ori through Orumela and so forth, through Dafa and through the readings and stuff. So it is a whole system that we have in Ifa that African people lived by to make sure that we were doing the right thing. What is the right thing? There are general things and then there are individual things that will be considered the right thing. So Orisha is not a negative religion. It has nothing to do with the devil. It has nothing to do with killing somebody or taking somebody's wife or taking somebody's husband and all these kind of things. That is not what Ifa Orisha is. Ifa Orisha, the first thing that we try to achieve is good, noble, gentle character. Everything that we try to do is in this vein. So if you see anybody, and I say this for the whole Ifa Orisha community, regardless if it's even spiritual Baptist or whatever, if you see anybody getting on in a certain kind of way or willing themselves about the road, or if you see men swinging their hip a little more than a woman, or woman having more muscle than man, I want you all to know publicly it is not Ifa Orisha way of life. People may identify with it, but it is not, because it stigmatizes the tradition. You understand? And we have very few platforms like this where we could actually tell people, hey, that's not what it is, you know. You understand? Because we didn't really have a voice. We've been silenced for so long. I want people to know that Ifa Orisha people are very decent people. That's what we focus on. Iba share. Yes, correct. You understand? That is what Ifa Orisha is about. First and foremost, love, togetherness, representation. You couldn't give, you like how they take away licks in school. You feel like it's just by chance?
Them know that all that is in the plan.
Of course.
They know what they're
but
doing.
But in Ifa Orisha now, when somebody's son make problems, is the whole village dealing with you?
The whole council deal with
the whole, exactly.
The whole council.
But now I grew up knowing about my neighbor cutting my tail. Now parents can't even touch their own children.
A simple thing, like my Babalawo Ifa Lashe, when I do wrong things, or like if I do something wrong and I'm not living right, he will call me in front of the elders and like again, blows.
Yeah.
You know, don't do this, son, don't do, because the consequences are this go happen, because it's not right and wrong again. You know? Everything is everything in the system. You know?
Yeah, and that's wrong. That is wrong.
Everything is everything. And if people get to understand what Ifa Orisha, the way of life is, and what is Iwa Pile, trust me, they will run to it. Full speed.
Yeah, but you see, because no, you have to understand that we have a lot of damaged people out here, spiritually damaged. And when I say spiritually damaged, I'm talking about from the mental aspect as well. It's so scary to know that the person that you know as a monster, the monster that walk the face of this earth that you have to avoid is you. Correct. You understand how much work it takes to overcome something like that, brother? You really understand how much are we parents waiting for the savior? No, let me be real. Waiting for that savior and their parents and their parents. You understand what I'm saying? So let me get real. We have to get real. We have to wake up and really look in the mirror. Not look at a mirror.
Correct.
Quite as some mirrors, they have implanted images on it that when you look, you're seeing something else. You understand what I'm saying? So we need to look a lot deeper. We need to research. We need to ask questions. As I say, it's not even about researching Ifa, but it's about researching truth. Look at what you are doing right now and see if it are loopholes in it now. Just see. And then you will be guided. And it doesn't have to be Ifa. It could be another tradition of light, of truth.
True.
Of truth.
True.
Truth. Not something with a light that is switched on and off sometimes. Understand what I'm saying? Because you know they're just putting the nice little things to show you, well, you know. I remember a time, boy, this man. Anyway.
Rose Petal saying, it takes a village to raise a child or children long ago.
Yes, that's what it was. But that's what I'm saying. Ifa is not just a spiritual thing, you know. It was a way of life, and it came from the teachings of the spiritual practices. Issues the Lord of the Crossroad, keeper of Ashe, divine messenger, doorkeeper. Remember, there are 21 aspects of virtue for starters. Well, I don't want to go there yet. Yeah. I just try to generalize.
We just breaking the ice, people. We glad. I really appreciate the comments and the amount of people streaming it on the Facebook page. I loving it. Daniel John Ori is also Uludumai's personal representative.
Yes.
In one's
direct
life.
Link.
Ori manifests as one becoming fully conscious of their true purpose in life and fulfilling that purpose. As I say my prayer on a morning, my first connection is my Ori.
Yes.
Before I go to any Orisha, I go to Ori.
Supposed to.
Ori, my teaching Ori, first and foremost.
Because no other Orisha could bless you.
Ashe.
or nothing can curse you
Ashe.
without the sanction of Ori.
Ashe.
And don't feel that Ori wouldn't watch you and say, oh, you're on shippiness, and allow something to happen to you.
Ashe.
Ori will punish you as well for doing the
Ashe.
wrong thing, for not listening. So, as you say, Ori is the highest. Ori is the highest. Let me don't mistake that. Yeah.
So we touch on issue, we touch on Rumila. Let me just skim, you know, it's 8:49. Let me just 8:50 now. Let me just give them a little touch on who is Ogun.
Ogun. Ogun Onire Balogun. I would try to make it I wouldn't try to be too precise, but I would try to make it relatable. One of the first things you need to understand with Ogun is the protector of man. Ogun is willpower. Ogun is the obstacle remover. Ogun is the spirit of iron and steel. When we say the spirit of iron and steel, Ogun is the Orisha of technology and advancement. When we say the spirit of iron and steel, there is nothing in this world that could withstand iron or steel when it manifests in one way or another to remove, or I don't like to use the word demolish. I prefer to use the word remove. But if there is an obstacle in the way, Ogun's manifestation will demolish it. Whether it's a tractor, whether it's what you call that thing with the ball?
But they're just crushing the building.
Yeah, well, yeah. What bulldozer? That bulldozer, huh?
No.
A wrecking ball.
Yeah.
You understand? All these are cutlass. That's we thing in Trinidad and Tobago, right? Because all these things are manifestations of that concept and that principle of making a way. You ever hear now? There's the part that is get a little comical with when I talking to younger ones. You ever see Hulk? Before Endgame come out, Endgame totally spoiled it. But you ever see Hulk being overpowered? Hulk's strength is unlimited, right? The will of Ogun is unlimited. I want you to understand that. There's no law in the universe that could suppress Ogun from not clearing the path. I will understand that. I just use Hulk to show them Hulk just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. That is the concept of Ogun. A lot of people just think the dancing and all the kind of things and all the kind of the more physical aspect of Ogun, but Ogun's essence is about clearing the path, and it's a rule and a law of the universe that once you get Ogun that responsibility, no matter what the obstacle is, he will get as strong as he'll get, just like Hulk. It's just go to the occasion and do what Ogun has to do. Understand it. In Christianity, they say Saint Michael the Archangel, the warrior, the one with the sword. Yeah, we need to understand. We need to understand.
I'm glad you touched that.
We need to understand it.
People to connect, to make the connection.
But it's higher than that.
Yeah.
It's higher than that. It's and man, Dylan, I just get passionate, you know. Sorry. Yeah, I just get passionate because I realize there's a trick, boy. The real trick, you know.
As time passes, I gain more knowledge and understanding. I get to realize how entrapped they are, because I am no longer trapped. I have opened up. I have understand, and I have choose a different road and a different direction and different pattern. I navigate my ship with the blessings of the Orishas. Because living in this Western world philosophy, it's not easy. So anything in closing, it's 8:54, we're just wrapping up. I must say thanks.
Real fast, boy.
Yeah, once you're doing the right thing, time flies.
Hey, boy.
I must say, if I thank you for coming here, may Olodumare and the Orishas continue to guide and bless you.
Taking that.
And give you all the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding as you, the loyal listeners of the Street 919 FM, and those streaming, those of you in the nations, highways and byways, in your homes and your workplaces. I say thank you. It has been a privilege, And may the Orishas guide and bless all of us. And anything departing words?
I'll just say, have no fear, people. The Orisha, our ancestors, gives us assurance. They actually are laws of nature. They are the laws of nature. So have no fear. Once you adhere to the instructions, there's nothing man can do to change it. And I know that. Let's not forget, yeah?
Ashe.
Ashe.
So we thank you. Just going to play some music till 9. I'm going to make way for the prolific one, David Muhammad and the Black Agenda. This is Baba Adelon.